All right, folks, I just want to react to this video about Matthew McConaughey. Just down Joy Behar after she asked this one question. Let's jump in and see what's going on.
One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is me playing a game that I'm not interested in playing.
Okay.
That's Matthew McConaughey in his appearance on The View, when Joy Behar got too carried away during a discussion on gun control. Check it out.
For being so outspoken against violence and gun violence in particular. And you're a Texan, and you spoke so passionately at the White House last year in the wake of that shooting at Robb Elementary in your hometown of
That's why we're
Uvalde.
wearing these little pins, right?
And now you have launched the Green Lights Grant Initiative to help make schools safer.
Yes.
Please tell us about that.
Thank you for the opportunity to. So what we found out after what happened at Robb Elementary and many other schools, the first bill was passed in 30 years to help make schools safer. Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, billions of dollars to safen schools. What I find out months after the bill's been passed is that very few applications are going in from the school districts. And for those that are applying, very few are getting granted and awarded. So the money's still there. And we're like, wait, where's the gap? Well, we found out that these superintendents that have to fill out these grants to the government. A lot of them are driving the school bus and they're the PE teacher, and this grant process is 50 pages and it's intimidating.
Wow.
And I don't know about y'all, but I have trouble making it through filling a custom card out without having to scratch stuff out. It is intimidating, so they don't have the expertise at the time. The government wants these grants to be filed. They want to spend the money. It's use it or lose it money. And if we don't spend that money that the government has by 2026, it could be reallocated.
In 2021, you considered a run for governor of the state of Texas. Do you think political office is in your future? Can you see that?
If it's where I would deem myself to be most useful, yes.
Do you think you could get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
Do I think I could get elected in Texas being anti-gun? One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is me playing a game that I'm not interested in playing.
Okay.
Damn.
Don't do it.
Wow. Okay. That's very smart. Why he did that's smart though. That's very smart. And I'm gonna explain why it's smart. My bad, I had to do this transition, right? I'm just gonna explain why that statement is very smart. She wanted to get that click. She wanted to get, that back and forth. But I don't think she understands where Matthew is just leaning to. She thinks he's a like a blown Democrat. But I think he's playing most in the middle.
Joy Behar's question at the end made Matthew realize that The View was trying to pigeonhole him into representing a specific set of beliefs. But there's more to it. When Joy asked if Matthew would win in a place like Texas while being seen as anti-gun, even though he isn't, she basically highlighted how the media often divides people into opposing sides. Matthew has been careful not to take a hard stance on guns, preferring to talk about responsible gun ownership instead. He doesn't like being painted as against the state he wants to govern, as if it's just a simple red versus blue issue. In his speeches, like the one after a school shooting in 2022, he chooses his words carefully to express what he truly believes and not what others want him to say or believe.
We need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. We need background checks. We need to raise the minimum age to purchase an AR-15 rifle to 21. We need a waiting period for those rifles. We need red flag laws and consequences for those who abuse them. These are reasonable, practical, tactical regulations to our nation, states, communities, schools, and homes. Responsible gun owners are fed up with the Second Amendment being abused and hijacked by some deranged individuals. These regulations are not a step back. They're a step forward for a civil society and the Second Amendment.
Matthew McConaughey is actively working to make schools safer, especially through initiatives like the Green Lights Grant.
Hold on. Let's not be blind here. Those statements that he just portrays are not in favor of the Second Amendment. A lot of these programs are already in place. This is not going to fix a lot of things. Why it has to be Why a lot of these laws, a lot of these statements have to go to the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit, which is cutting more rights? None of this stuff will work. Why cannot just we tackle the mental health and our young kids? Why can't we just not simply do that? It's always to the easiest path. I don't
program
know.
has allocated over $2 billion from the federal government to school districts, aiming to enhance their security measures.
There you go. That's
McConaughey's
all you need. If you have people, you shoot it back. And I'm not saying that we're gonna protect them all. At least you get something, right?
stands out not for just expressing his views, but also turning them into tangible actions. When it comes to discussing guns, he takes a moderate stance, focusing on practical solutions rather than adopting extreme moral positions. He avoids aligning himself with any political camp and critiques the empty moral statements made by those who seek attention for their positions. In a world where political discussions often lead to endless arguments with little substance, Matthew's refusal to be confined to one side is refreshing. His ability to engage with a diverse range of figures from Joe Rogan to Jordan Peterson shows that he can communicate effectively across different perspectives. In a polarized political climate, individuals like McConaughey play a crucial role as bridges, fostering understanding between opposing sides.
Good. I personally think when it comes down to this kind of discussion, I want somebody to be practical. Okay, you can be in the left, but you cannot simply say, "Lord, let me just take all your guns," but then at the same time, you're not protecting your kids, right? And the right side, we cannot say, "Oh, do not take my guns," but at the same time, we're not saying, "Okay, with our rights, we're gonna protect your kids." See, we have to just be practical, folks. The right is always in the defense, and you see these lefty lunatics just trying to push this kind of agenda. They go full offense. They don't care if they lose the culture war. They don't care none of that stuff. They want control. They're gonna just keep doing it. When it comes down to Matthew McConaughey position and a lot of these things, I think in the long run, he's not ready yet to be a politician. Let me explain why. Right now, he's gonna understand why the crazy lunatics on the right and the crazy lunatics on the left, just to put it in hindsight, right? This is how they say it. They have their stance. He's gonna realize that they're right. It's right to hold this thing called nation together. Right? We're trying to hold this nation together. This thing can just blow in any seconds. And the lefties, they're just trying to just destroy and just take more rights. As simple as that. Folk, I don't know how. And then you have the minutia, you have the what is in the middle, and then you can work on that, right? But you have to understand that that's what we're looking at. That's what we are working on. Now, you're saying that certain things in the left are not good? Everything is not good? Nah, that's not true. Certain concepts, I do agree with them. But we have to create a better society and a more free society for those things to work. Let me just give you an example. Some of these folks that want to, a public health care for everybody. Hey, no problem with that. But you have to allow the government to compete at the same level that any private insurance. If the public cannot compete, it should not be in the market. I know, but we're just gonna pay with the taxpayer. Okay, no problem. You wanna keep a healthcare that's just funded by the taxpayer. Okay. We have to raise the level. We have to at least raise the level of entry for those people that are going to be required to be in the public service. We cannot just allow any nut job. And also, it should not be a place where you just go there for an operation. It has to be simple care, very simple care. You go, you have a coffee, you have a cough, you go there, you get your medication, but it cannot be a position where just we lean on. And that's the point. There are a lot of these programs, you give them an inch, they take a mile, thousands of miles. But that will be the only thing I can see that can work. But you see the private sector is just booming. In order for you to have a program like that in the United States to work, the private sector has to be booming, because in that way the public sector can just move on with times. That's what I think, and I think this is a great opportunity to McConaughey to understand what is on stake. He cannot go simply to Texas and say, "I'm gonna simply put more regulation." He understands, because responsible gun owners are not the problem, folks. Responsible gun owners are not the problem, folks. It's just lunatics. Lunatics that they can just simply grab a gun wherever they can see it. That's it. A lot of these people, they cannot even get guns either way, but somehow they get them. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.